Well, hello and welcome to the November 27th update of the Lifeboat Academy. Welcome, everybody. And hope you, if you're in the US, I hope you had a good Thanksgiving weekend. And no matter where you are, I hope you avoided Black Friday like the plague that it is. And welcome to the Lifeboat Academy. If this is your first time here on our YouTube channel, we are endeavoring to create a replicable model of resilience and regeneration at the person, place, and community level. We think of a lifeboat as your own personal, place-based, local resilience network made up of the people you know and trust and can work with, who can help you get through when times get rough. And ultimately, we're hoping to create a fleet of lifeboats, a network of networks, so that we can all stay connected about what we're doing in our local communities so that we can find areas for mutual support and benefit. And of course, there's lots of different parts to that. But the main part to that is we put the land at the center of everything that we do. We think of here the Spalding Valley Farm as an organism, a living creature, composed of all our relations, both animal, vegetable, mineral, human, and non-human. And we always start with the land in mind. And we do that because indigenous cultures have kept alive the certain knowledge that without the land, we don't exist. It's actually the land that caused us to be creatures, to be humans, and we live in an interconnected web. And we need to remind ourselves of that because when we forget that we're in an interconnected web, things go poorly. And so we bring the land in, we bring in the indigenous knowledge, and in doing so, we recognize that some of our relations are strained and broken. Some of our human relations and some of our relations with the more than human world have been really strained. And so we take on the responsibility of repairing those relationships wherever we can, whenever we can. First and foremost with the land and with our indigenous neighbors. Here, my indigenous neighbors are the WSÁNEĆ, who have been here since time immemorial and who know this land in ways that we all need to learn and know how to be with this land in ways that were healthy and thriving until Europeans showed up and kind of messed the balance up. So in acknowledging the land, we also acknowledge our responsibility to do what's right and to heal our relationships. And going further, we're just going to give an opportunity for each of us to talk about what is it this week that has our attention about the Lifeboat Academy. And I'll pass it over to Ronnie and then to Roland and then back to me. So Ronnie, what has your attention at the moment?
Hi, I'm Ronnie, they, them pronouns for anyone who doesn't know me. I'm a mentor with the Lifeboat Academy. I'm really excited about a couple of different meetings with potential partners that are in the works. These are some meetings, and we'll get into this more later, but these are some meetings that we've been waiting to have for a bit. So I'm really excited and to see where they might go. Over to Roland.
I am excited about connections that are taking place and are also growing. Everything is always in change, and we've had some really lovely opportunities of being able to share the location where we currently are, and that one of our projects is to establish a first physical location for the Lifeboat Academy here on Pender Island. So those are ongoing relationships that are deepening and changing, And then, as Ronnie mentioned, there are new relationships that we are looking forward to exploring, and just a lot of gratitude that there are so many ways in which we can be interwoven and that we can support each other. We all have different gifts, and it's really lovely to have the opportunity to share them. And sometimes the gifts aren't easy, but they're all opportunities to learn from. So over to Ben.
Yeah, I think ditto to everything that you're both saying. And I also am very captivated at the moment about how to frame what we're doing as the research project. That it's challenging to talk about the Lifeboat Academy because we're trying to synthesize a lot of different things. And we live in a world where people like to specialize and make it all about one thing, and we're trying for it to be a balance. But underlying it all is this the sense of the larger experiment of how do we maximize quality of life in a sustainable footprint. And we know this is the question that we have to answer moving into climate change and climate chaos and everything that might come from it. And so how do we talk about it in a concise way to invite people into that idea of a shared collaborative research project where we actually are testing things and proving things. So that's what has my interest at the moment. And we'll just go through the updates from last week. And there's a lot to report. And it's interesting how, it is like mycelia, that there's stuff happens under the surface and some things take longer than you think. Everything takes longer than you think it's going to, but then things start to pop up. And so last week we had a meeting with our finance and fundraising circle, which was really interesting and productive, and included a focus on our articles of incorporation and how to finalize them, and what do we need to have in place to just start moving forward, and with some concrete action items that came from it. So we're reaching out to a few organizations and individuals that have some specific knowledge that would be useful for us to finalize our articles of incorporation. I also finally got around to contacting the Regenerate Cascadia folks that we met 2 weeks ago. So we've already had some follow-up from that. And again, it's just interesting to see where those relationships might go. One thing that we're really excited about is that Deb Morrison, who's a good friend of the farm and also our local trustee, North Island trustee, made an introduction between us and Joey Hussian, and I hope I'm saying the name right. And he wrote right back and is very receptive to meeting and talking with us about what we have going on here. So we're really excited to make that connection. We also are in the process of setting up a meeting time with Elizabeth May, our our rock star member of parliament here, who is going to meet with us the next time she is on Pender. We're really excited about that, where we'll be having a kind of a joint meeting talking about Foodlands Co-op of BC, their interest in having farmland be considered as a charitable, having charitable status, and what might be involved in that, and basically the reclaiming the commons aspect of the project that we're working on. But not just our project, also how can we help Foodlands make this possible for other people in the province or in Canada. And we also have a lead on an accountant who has direct experience working with a foundation in the US on Canadian projects, and has actually navigated some of those tricky waters. And so we'll be setting up a meeting there to talk through, get the advice that we can. And then the next steps here, really, it's a lot of keep on keeping on. Last week we scheduled a meeting with Rebecca Berman, and that'll be happening tomorrow. So again, we'll be talking a little bit about the trans-border issues, but also just learning more about what the Berman Foundation does and talking a little bit about what we're doing. We're hoping to set up that meeting with Joey Husian, and we still have in the works a number of offerings that opportunities where we can be offering Lifeboat, basically webinars and support services through other organizations. So we'll be following up on that. Actually, let me go back. And just open it up, Ronnie or Roland, anything to add to that? Ronnie, over to you. No, Ronnie? Roland? Okay. So we also have been doing some cleanup and continued work on the materials, and I want to share, I think I have this available. Some work that Ronnie did, which is just fantastic. So hopefully you can see.
Yeah.
All right. So Ronnie has converted what was a one-pager into a series of slides. We're thinking for Instagram or for sort of similar social media, but they work really well together and tell a story and look great and are clear and just really excited about how this has all come together. And it looks so simple, and it is definitely the product of massive iterations. Again and again and again, refining the messages, refining the look and feel of it, figuring out how to present it. And anyhow, I'm just super pleased by how that all came together. So you'll be seeing those around. And back to this. So yeah, we've done some work. The royal we, Ronnie has done a lot of work on updating Instagram slides. We've also been continuing to work at the CRM and the inbox, making sure we're cleaning stuff up and getting things moving. And we've also received a letter of support from Clear, which is Deb Morrison's environmental consulting firm. Very, very favorable. Lovely letter of support. And I think we've received two other letters of support in the last week. They've just been finalizations of support that we already knew we had. And we have some more letters of support that will be sort of shepherding people who've said that they would agree to write us a letter of support, and we just need a little nudge. So in terms of next steps, we also will continue on the last little bits of the website. We think we're down to like one task, I think, before the website can go live. We're going to be focused more on refining some of the Lifeboat Network materials, the things that will show up on our help desk or are currently on our help desk, and how we onboard people into the project. And of course, office hours are still available. So anybody who has a Lifeboat related question, a resilience question, or a regeneration question can book time during the office hours, or if you have any questions about the updates or any of the work that we're doing, also make frequent use of office hours. So once again, I'll pass it around. Ronnie, anything to add?
I don't believe so.
Roland, over to you.
I am debating. So the updating of materials, I just wanted to say that frequently the updating of material comes from our lived experience. And we have recently had a number of experiences, including around onboarding and having people on the farm, that's informed additions and changes that would be useful for the next iteration of the onboarding material. And this is just an opportunity also to outline when we're talking about the Lifeboat Academy being an ongoing research project. This is part of it, that we're always looking at how we're doing things to refine them, to improve them, and to see how they can be replicable.
Mm-hmm.
So just a little plug on our process.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So over to you, Ben.
yeah, that's great. That's a very important point. And it really is, it's trying to, the whole, one of our sayings is building the lifeboat is the lifeboat. And so it really is about engaging in the work in a way that allows us to keep what works, strengthen that, build on that, and respond where there's a challenge, and figure out how do we learn as fast as we can and incorporate that. And by testing it out, that's part of the reason why the Lifeboat Network is so valuable, because if we can test out some ideas in a lot of different situations, then we can figure out what works across different situations, what is sort of enduring and more robust, but also figure out how things can get adapted to particular environments. So what does an urban lifeboat look like compared to a suburban lifeboat, compared to a rural lifeboat? What does one focused on food look like compared to one focused on an ecosystem and ecosystem repair? So, you know, there are all sorts of different flavors, and the more that we can have that communication, the better we all do. So finally, we've had some events this week at Spalding Valley Farm. This has been really fun and exciting. And we've done a little bit of sort of material work, cleaning up around here. So we've hosted our second evening with Spirit Moves, which is a dance group, a dance event. It's really for anyone to show up and to dance together. So they were here on Thursday. And then all day Saturday, we hosted a community justice peace circle for Castle Road, which is our neighboring housing area. Small little group of, I think, about 20 or so properties. And that went really well. They were excited by the space and by the opportunity, and hopefully there will be more of those circles happening here. We've also been doing some wood splitting very, very late in the season, but you know, you get to things when you can, and doing some in preparation for the events this week. We did a bunch of little site cleanup that I'm really pleased by, because it's just nice to do a little tidy up here and there. And in terms of next steps when it comes to events, we are going to be hosting the Community Justice Strategic Planning session at the end of December. And I think that's our next big event that we have scheduled. But we also have lots of people who now have experienced the place and are thinking about ways that they might make use of it as well. So again, exciting to see what might come from that. So anything to add here, Ronnie or Roland?
Nothing to add. Over to Roland.
All righty. Well, that's it for the update. And then what we have in the plan for the week is, it's again really a lot of keep on keeping on. It is that time of year when the external world starts to become more distracted with holiday things, and where we are going to be turning our attention to January and continuing to kind of build out our infrastructure, increase our connections, and build some of those relationships. So first and foremost, we'll be following up on the leads that we currently have, having some meetings and seeing where those go. Brushing up our materials, as Roland points out, in response to learning through the AIM Act Reflect process. Cleaning up our CRM records so that we are, if you are watching this and you're thinking we've dropped something and something has fallen through the cracks, we apologize. We're doing our best. There's been a lot of interest, and that's really great and exciting, but it does mean that we're a bit challenged in making sure that we can manage all of the opportunities that are happening and kind of keep all the balls in the air. It's a
And
good
you can
problem
let
to
us
have.
know.
Oh, yes,
And
and
you
let us
can,
know.
yeah.
Yes, please. And then keep on keeping on with office hours and our regular outreach and engaging people through different social media channels. So that's the plan. And just a reminder, you can always keep in touch, get in touch. Friends@lifeboat.academy is our shared email address. We'll get you where you need to go. Also, the lifeboat.academy is our website address, and currently there is information about the project, and soon there will be enhanced information about the project. And oh, and I didn't change this. This is actually lifeboatacademy.freshdesk.com is the correct address for the help desk. And so yes, Lifeboat Academy first.freshdesk.com gets you to the help desk. And we are on most of the social media channels. And if you just look for Lifeboat Academy, we're the ones who come up. So you can follow us on Facebook, TikTok, Mastodon, YouTube, and Instagram. And I think that is it. So one last whip around, last thoughts for the good of the cause. Over to you, Ronnie.
I'm good. Hope everyone has a great week, and thanks for tuning in after the fact. We really appreciate it. Oh, and subscribe to our YouTube, and you can watch these videos as they are posted every week. Over to Roland.
Yeah, another little plug for our process is that we try to be as transparent as possible about what we're doing and what's going on. You know, we work really hard at being a horizontal organization, and you can participate in that. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, then that's helpful for us. And we can also talk about them at our next update. So whenever you have anything that you'd like to send us, please do. Over to Ben.
Including referrals. If you know anybody who you think might be interested in Lifeboat Academy, who is either building their own lifeboat or thinking about it and looking for support, or has already been building their lifeboat and has skills and knowledge to share and would like to be involved with other lifeboat builders, or people who may potentially be investors or supporters of the project in a material way, or people who might want to come and actually be timeshare croppers here with us at Spalding Valley Farm, just send them our way. You can do an introduction, and again, friends at Lifeboat Academy, easiest way to get in touch. So I guess that's it. And so goodbye for now, and we will see you again next week.